I'm going to make sure that we have enough time at the end of class that I can pass back your tests. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes right now just digging into the very beginnings of law of cosines. We probably won't even get all the way through the first problem before we shut it down. We'll finish it up tomorrow. Okay? We just did law of sines. What's law of sines again? Yep. Sine of alpha over alpha would go over what? A equals sine of beta over B equals sine of gamma over C. Law of cosines. So with law of sines, we only used sine, sine, sine. Law of cosines, we're only going to use cosine. We generally use law of cosines when you have side angle side or side side side. There are lots of variations of this depending on which side you're looking to find. This right here is the only one that I would bother memorizing. That looks an awful lot like what?
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem. In fact, this is Pythagorean theorem. But this is Pythagorean theorem that works for any triangle, not just right triangles. Pythagorean theorem is actually a shortened version of this. Because what's cosine of 90 degrees? 0. Cosine of 90 degrees is 0. So if I have a right triangle, I'm going to have minus 2bc times 0. So this whole back end would drop off if I'm talking about a 90-degree angle. If I have any other type of angle, I can still find my sides. I just have to know one of my angles. So we have technically 3 variations of this. Like I said, this is the only one I would memorize. And then I would look for what are the similarities? What's the pattern? If I'm looking for side A, what angle do I want to use for the cosine? What's back here? Alpha. If I'm looking for side A, I need alpha. I need the angle across from it. For the 2 sides that I've got, B and C, I'll do that in a different color. I take the 2 sides that I have, and that's what becomes part of this minus 2 times the side times the side. If I'm looking for side A, I need the angle across from it, and the 2 sides that I have, I'm going to square them both, but then I'm also going to times them by 2, and times that by the cosine. The other 2 variations of this, I'm going to go ahead and write them down. Again, I wouldn't memorize these. If I'm looking for B, I would have B squared equals, if I'm looking for B, that means I have to have what? A and C, so A squared plus C squared. And then it's always minus 2 times these other pieces. It's going to be minus 2 times what? AC times the cosine of beta, whatever's across from what I'm looking for. So how would we write this for C squared? A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine gamma. Absolutely. Down here, your book has this. It's not bad to know. I wouldn't memorize it, and I don't use it. Again, I only memorize the one up on the top, because I can use the one that's up on top, and I know that I can manipulate things algebraically to make it do and make it find whatever I need it to find. But that's basically what we're going to have going on when we're finding an angle. All right. So let's break out an example problem. We are going to solve the triangle. What does it mean to solve the triangle? Yep. Find all the missing parts. So let's figure out what we've got. Do I know side A? No. Do I know sides B and C? Cool. So I have side B, I have side C. What angles do I have? I have the angle for A, so I have alpha. If I want to solve this triangle, what do I have to find first? Well, I don't know this angle. I need to find side A. Because think about our law of cosines. I have a side that I'm looking for equals my other two sides squared, so I need at least two sides. And then I'm going to need cosine of the angle across from what I'm looking for. Do I have that? Yes. So we're going to have to find this side first. Kind of a little side note that I'm going to add at the bottom here. If you want to find an angle, what do you have to have? Look at this equation. If I want to find an angle, what am I going to have? All three sides, because I'm going to have to put something in here, 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 and here. I'm only allowed to have one unknown. So if I'm looking for an angle, I need all three sides. So we're going to have to find A first. So what am I putting in the place of B?
26.
So I have 26 squared plus, what are we putting in for C? 19 minus 2 times what?
26.
2 times 26 times 19 times what? Times cosine of 62 degrees. Can you take all of that and pop it in your calculator? Yes, you can. You can chunk it out if you want to. You can break it into parts. And actually, I'm going to ask you guys to do that for me. What's 26 squared? 676. Plus, what's 19 squared? You said 361? Minus 2 times 26 times 19, 988 times the cosine of 62 degrees. You can chunk it out like that. You don't have to. You can pop it all in your calculator all at once if you want to. What do we get A squared as being? 573.162. So how do I find A? Square root of both sides. Do I have to worry about positive and negative? Distance can only be positive. So since I'm looking for the side of a triangle, that is a distance, that's a length, has to be the positive one. So what is square root of 573.126 something something something? 23.941. That is where we're going to stop for today. We'll find those two angles tomorrow. Your homework over 8-2 is going to be due Thursday night. It is not posted yet because you guys don't have enough information to actually find all the pieces. I'll have it up by the end of the day today. So if you want to get in and start looking at it and playing with it, that's fine. But I wouldn't actually start on it until after class tomorrow. Right? Quiz over 8-2 will be Friday. Homework's due Thursday. Quiz is Friday. That means you're going to have to do what for pre-cal over break?
Nothing.
Nothing. Take a break on break. Enjoy your break.